Called the tap room, Wingers tap room, beers and sports. See you lads, get down there, get yourself a drink. The Masonic Hall of 1870 was converted into the Harborne Library by Birmingham Corporation in 1892. It underwent a major refurbishment in 2006. 20th century. At the beginning of the 20th century, this was still a rural village.
Full of village idiots, mate. Loads of us.
Surrounded by farmland and separated from Edgbaston and Birmingham by the Chad Valley and Matchley Park. Land was bought to build a swim bath at Harborne in 1911. But it was not until 1923 that the baths were opened. That was in the war years, you see. So all the fellas were away fighting the Germans, you see, Jeddies. When they come back, they fixed it because they needed a bath. By 1900, the population had grown to 10,000. I wonder what it is now. Wider housing development in the area began in earnest before the Second World War and was continued after the war. However, there are still large parts of the district which remain green, natively golf courses. What have our golf courses, oh boy, what? Houses and golf courses. Harborne High Street has developed as the social and shopping focus, and the district has maintained itself as one of the city's most desirable suburbs. For sure it is. But look, all the shops, I mean, at Subway to let. Can you believe it? Oxfam. Tutor box empty. No education. British Heart Federation Foundation. It's all charity shops. There's not even a Costa Coffee or a Starbucks, you know. So that side of things there's a pizza. What's it called? Pizza Express there. There's a Cafe Nero. I don't know what the term is they use to describe how the high streets are all becoming the same. But if you go to the Asian areas, they're booming. Proper booming. It's a cultural thing, isn't it? Harborne Railway Station was opened on the 10th of August 1874. Closed to passengers on the 26th of November 1934. I think they're reopening it now, aren't they? And to freight traffic, I know they are in Moseley. Moseley Village is a major building programme going on there. Or is it Kings Heath, the Kings Heath one and the Moseley Village one? Or is it the same one? But there's proper development going there. I suppose it makes sense. There's a lot more population in the towns, in the suburbs. They need to get use that kind of infrastructure, that kind of transport. Now here, okay. And to freight traffic in November 1963. It is now the Harborne Walkway. Okay. Let's just finish this paragraph. A 2-mile nature walk and a cycling route from the Harborne to Ladywood, where the canal can be followed either to Birmingham or Wolverhampton. Let's pause for a minute. I don't know if you can see that there. There's the library, the Masonic Hall. That was gifted by the Masons, the Freemasons, or the Birmingham City Council. The corporation gifted them that building, and that became the library. They're very proud of that, as you'll hear. Harborne Library here, I'm right at that now, so let's stand outside and let's check it out. The corporation purchased the Masonic Hall in the High Street for £2,000. That building cost £2,000. Right, let's have a look, see. For the purpose of conversion to a public library, the hall had been built in 1879 and had housed the Harborne Lodge, Tudor, 1792, of the province of Staffordshire. The architect was A.E. Phipson, a local man living in Metchley Lane, who, in partnership with his son, is credited with designing several buildings in Harborne of a similar date. Some structural alterations were made, and meanwhile the librarian, Mr. Herbert Shuttleworth, and his assistants were appointed. there was a newsroom with papers and periodicals. And it was decided that this would open ahead of the Lending Library on the 27th of August 1892. A small crowd made a determined rush to obtain the honour of being first to enter. Police Sergeant Willis ahead of them. So can you imagine that? There's a copper there outside, they're all queuing up, standing there, maybe 10, 20, 30 people, like, I'm going to be first, get out of the fucking way. I'm getting in first, no you ain't, I am. But, it would have probably been one of the most exciting things around here, to happen. Because here, you'd probably get a source of information. Did newspapers make their way here? Here they would have got a free periodical, a daily periodical, a weekly periodical. They could have gone and it's where they would have got information. It's where they would have acquired learning and knowledge. In a library, it would have been an exciting day or an exciting time. The formal opening of the library was on the 12th of November 1892, and the ceremony was performed by the Mayor of Birmingham. Rather tactlessly, his speech referred to the greater benefits to Harborne by annexation than of that to Birmingham. He also regretted the preponderance of works of fiction on the shelves.
I don't know where he's coming from. I understand, mate. Load of rubbish in it. Imaginations. We want facts. Facts.
So even then they were fighting the woke in their day. At this time there were just 2,000 volumes available for loan. A year later only 220 were children's books. There were 580 registered borrowers, borrowing an average of 153 books daily in the first year. Wow. Both the Lending Library and the newsroom occupied the upper floor of the building, the ground floor being used for other purposes. Not until 1925 were the public able to browse the shelves. Until that time they had been served with books on request at the counter. Well, public toilets because it's right by the pub. Victorian built probably. But there's your library, mate. Harborne Library, they've taken over that shop next door. That could be the entrance to it now. Yeah, it must be, because they've blocked that gate off there. You know something? The people of Harborne, if you're watching this video, if you get to see it, if you're proud of what you've got still, why don't you basically reposition that gate and get it painted? In corporate colours, you know what I mean? Green again, make it look nice. Look at it, it's all over ground bushes and everything. Get in there, all the lads, and pull out them weeds. Obviously the entrance is that shop next door. I mean, the windows could do with a blick of paint. I mean, look, come on. If you get in there early, you'll prevent those windows from rotting. They'll make it look good, and then, it'll send a nice little message out to the locals to say, we still care about this library. Come and use it. Because people are probably just using their phones now, aren't they? If you don't use it, you'll lose it. I think if I get a chance, I think I'll go visit that place myself. World War II. During the Second World War, the basement became an air raid shelter. That basement there, look. And until blackout provision could be made, the library closed at sunset. During the 1960s, major alterations were made to the building. The adult library moved downstairs into what had for many years been the newsroom. A new children's library was constructed upstairs, described at the time in the Birmingham Mail as the pride of the new library. Sadly, the new front door was received with less enthusiasm. Where is it, the new front door? Can't see it. It must be on the other side. And was the subject of several letters to the press. The most significant alteration since then has been the expansion into the adjoining building there next door, look. Providing on the ground floor a new help desk and space to house the People's Network computers, providing free public internet access. There you go, guys. That's where you get your free internet, right? Look at these lovely little cottages like next to it.
See, this is where the nailers were, the metal bashers. They did a bit of banging, they did. Lots of banging.
Bang, 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 bang. You can imagine, can't you? Forge, little fires going on in the back gardens, smoke pouring up behind the houses. That's what they were like, you see. I'm on my final stretch. The library closed in the autumn of 2005 for a major refurbishment, which included the installation of a public lift, disabled persons toilet and the baby changing facilities. The library opened again on the 10th of July 2006 with bright and attractive new furniture and fittings.
But it's a lick of paint on the outside, mate.
The opening hours have been increased and a new music CD loan service has been introduced. Harborne Gallery